coming in. Tourists continue to arrive in Bhaderwah in Doda district. This comes following Pahalgam terror attack, which had a significant impact on tourism. Markets in Kashmir have partially opened. Let's in fact listen in to what a tourist on ground has to say.
जानते हैं थोड़े दिन पहले पहलगाम में जो घटना हुई, जो पाकिस्तान के द्वारा हरकत की गई है, वो बहुत ही शर्मसार है और इसका जवाब हमारी सरकार उसे ज़रूर देगी। उनका उद्देश्य था, उनका ये टूरिस्ट को अटैक करने का उद्देश्य ये था कि यहाँ पर टूरिज्म कम हो जाए, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होगा। ये कश्मीर हमारा था, हमारा है, हमारा रहेगा। ये मातृभूमि हमारी है, हम यहाँ आए हैं, आते रहेंगे। और ये पहलगाम हम आए हैं, भद्रवाह में आए हुए हैं। यहाँ हमें बहुत सेफ फील हो रहा है। यहाँ कोई डरने की बात नहीं है और यहाँ की इंडियन आर्मी पूरी हमारे साथ है। यहाँ के लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं। यहाँ पे कोई भी प्रॉब्लम की बात नहीं है। तो मैं आप सभी को ये कहना चाहूँगी कि डरने की कोई बात नहीं है। हमारी सरकार हमारे साथ है, इंडियन आर्मी हमारे साथ है। और जो पाकिस्तान ने ये जो किया है, ये इनके मंसूबे ही यही थे कि हमारा इससे नुकसान हो, हमारे देश का नुकसान हो, टूरिज्म कम हो। लेकिन हमें ऐसा नहीं होने देना है। हम अब इनको मुंह तोड़ जवाब दें।
Brian Thomas is joining us for more on this story. Brian, tourists are beginning to return to Jammu and Kashmir. Tourists being seen in Bhaderwah.
Clearly, in Srinagar itself, there were many tourists who started flocking. Even though, yes, clearly 90% of the bookings were clearly affected after the Pahalgam terror attack. But yes, slowly and steadily, tourists, people were cancelling their tickets also. They were choosing not to cancel. If they were thinking of cancelling, they were returning to stay. Even in Pahalgam itself, there were many tourists who were returning to Pahalgam itself. And even Newsex had an exclusive interview with Atul Kulkarni, also who is a Bollywood actor, who had recently even come from Mumbai to Srinagar and Pahalgam itself to put out the message to the fact that and even give out the initiative, Chalo Kashmir initiative, to get more tourists back to Kashmir also, because a lot of the majority, 80% of the Kashmiri business is dependent on tourism itself. You talk about the Lal Chowk, Dal Lake. Yes, so yes, clearly there have been a number of tourists who were returning back to Kashmir, who were skeptical before, but yes, the confidence also. When Newsex also spoke to few people from Dal Lake also, they were also saying the reason they were confident to come back to Kashmir or come back to Srinagar is because they are confident on the Indian Army, they are confident on the security forces, and that is the reason why they are feeling confident to come back to Kashmir, come back to Srinagar and visit the places itself again.
All right. Brian, in fact, if we talk about the markets as well in Kashmir, have they begun to reopen?
Yes, Uday, clearly, even Newsex clearly did a ground report yesterday also from many markets, especially the market near Jamia Masjid itself. So all the markets are bustling, are open. Even though, yes, the number of tourists in the markets itself have been a bit affected. There were much less tourists compared to what they were anticipating, because since it is a peak season for them. But clearly, yes, the markets have been opened on that 23rd itself. The entire Kashmir came on a halt because they came and they did a hartal, they closed all the shops to mark the day as a black day. But post that, all the markets have been open, and few tourists have also been visiting the markets to buy and get their things itself. Okay.
All right. More breaking news meanwhile coming in. Several nurse unions have taken out a candle march in solidarity with the Pahalgam terror incident victims. The candle march has been held in Delhi.